Welcome back to the channel, coin collectors and history lovers. Today, we are exploring some of the most exciting and valuable old American pennies ever found, and they are the 1964, 1966, 1967, and 1969 South Lincoln 1-center coins from the United States of America. At first, these coins may seem ordinary because millions were made, but certain rare examples, with special errors, low survival in top grades, and strong collector demand, have become worth big money. Among these coins, the 1969 South Lincoln Center is especially famous because rare double-die examples are some of the most valuable Lincoln pennies ever discovered, and they can sell for incredible prices. In this video, we will uncover the history, rarity, and current value of each of these coins and show you what to look for so you can check your own pennies and see if you might be holding a valuable coin worth far more than 1 cent. Let's get started. First up, the 1964 Lincoln 1-cent coin without mint mark was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, and it remains one of the most collected American coins because millions of people saved these pennies from circulation, and many still appear in old jars, albums, and inherited collections. But finding one in true uncirculated condition is much more exciting because a coin that has never entered circulation can display original red, mint luster, sharp wheat-free details on every letter, and a clean surface that attracts collectors who study each small mark to determine whether the coin may be worth much more than 1 cent. And this is why the 1964 issue continues to be searched by beginners and experienced numismatists alike. The 1964 Lincoln cent without mint mark may seem common at first because the production at Philadelphia was enormous and many examples survive today, but condition changes everything in coin collecting, and a bright uncirculated example with full original red color can sell for several dollars, while superb gems with almost flawless surfaces can reach much higher prices, especially when certified by professional grading companies. And many people do not realize that a single penny kept untouched for decades can become a desirable collectible simply because of how well it was preserved, and because red copper coins often darken over time. Examples that still shine brightly are often worth stronger premiums. One reason this coin is so popular is its historical design, featuring Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, making it a familiar coin for generations of Americans. And the 1964 issue was minted during a period when the United States was experiencing major social and economic changes. So many families kept coins from this era as souvenirs, and because of that, collectors today enjoy searching through old family collections for untouched examples that may have sat hidden for more than 60 years, and each discovery creates new excitement among coin enthusiasts who know that condition can transform a common date into a surprisingly valuable treasure. In circulated condition, the 1964 penny without mint mark is usually worth only a few cents, but in uncirculated grades the story changes because grading levels such as MS63, MS65, and MS67 can dramatically affect value. And while lower uncirculated examples may sell for modest amounts, higher grade red examples can sell for dozens or even hundreds of dollars depending on eye appeal and certification. And this wide value range is why collectors inspect every 1964 penny closely under magnification, because the smallest contact mark, discoloration, or spot can lower the grade and reduce the market price significantly, making truly pristine examples much harder to find than the large mintage suggests. The metal composition of the 1964 Lincoln cent adds another layer of interest because it was struck in a bronze alloy containing mostly copper, which gives the coin its rich reddish color when new, and over time many of these coins turn brown due to oxidation, but those preserved in sealed rolls or mint sets may still display vivid red surfaces, and collectors often pay the highest premiums for coins labeled red because they represent the freshest original appearance from the day they were struck. And this is why unopened bank rolls from the 1960s remain popular among searchers who hope to find untouched gems hidden among ordinary pennies. Another important area for collectors is mint errors and varieties, because some 1964 pennies without mint mark may show double die features, off-center strikes, clip planchets, or other unusual mint mistakes, and such coins can be worth far more than normal examples, depending on the strength of the error and overall condition, and many treasure hunters spend hours examining the date, lettering, and portrait with magnifying tools, because even a subtle variety can increase interest from collectors who specialize in error coins, and these discoveries often create viral stories online, where people learn that an everyday penny may hold a surprising secret value if the right characteristics are present. For a long YouTube script, the 1964 Lincoln cent is an excellent subject because viewers enjoy stories about common coins that may be worth unexpected amounts, and a detailed video can explain the history of the coin, the production numbers, how to identify uncirculated condition, and why some certified examples have sold for impressive prices at auction. And this creates strong engagement because many people around the world have old American pennies stored away, and the idea that a simple 1-cent coin might be worth much more encourages them to check their own collections while watching until the end to compare details with the coin in their hand. Professional grading by companies like can make a major difference in value because certified coins are authenticated, graded, and protected in sealed holders, which gives buyers confidence. And when a 1964 penny reaches top grades with original red color, the competition among registry set collectors can drive prices much higher than casual collectors expect, and this explains why some ordinary-looking pennies appear at auction with surprisingly strong final bids, since only a small percentage of all surviving examples achieve the finest known grades after decades of storage and handling. If someone finds a 1964 Lincoln cent without mint mark in uncirculated condition, the best action is to avoid cleaning it because cleaning can permanently damage the surface and reduce collector value. And instead, the coin should be any signs of unusual varieties, and many collectors have learned that patience is important because even a coin that appears ordinary may deserve professional evaluation if it shows exceptional red color or unusual mint characteristics, and preserving the original surface is always essential for maintaining maximum value. The 1964 Lincoln 1-cent coin without mint mark remains one of the most fascinating everyday collectibles from the United States because it combines history, design, nostalgia, and the possibility of hidden value in high grades, and whether worth a few cents or much more, in certified uncirculated condition, it continues to inspire collectors to search old jars, coin rolls, and family collections for overlooked treasures, and subscribing to coin collecting channels helps viewers discover more rare pennies, valuable varieties, and stories behind the coins that many people pass by every day without realizing they may hold a small piece of American. Next up, the 1966 Lincoln 1-cent coin without mint mark was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, and this small copper coin has become a favorite among collectors because it represents a classic era of American coinage when billions of pennies were used daily in commerce, and many were saved by families in jars, boxes, and albums. But finding one today in true uncirculated condition is much more special because such a coin can still display brilliant original red color, sharp details, and untouched surfaces that have survived for decades without entering circulation, and that combination of age, beauty, and preservation makes the 1966 penny a very interesting subject for coin collectors and treasure hunters around the world. The value of a 1966 Lincoln cent without mint mark depends heavily on condition because most circulated examples are very common and worth only a small amount above face value, but an uncirculated coin can be worth much more, especially when it has full original red luster and minimal marks on the surface, and collectors often separate these coins into red, brown, and brown categories because the color shows how much the copper has changed over time, and bright red examples are usually the most valuable since they look closest to the day they left the mint, and this is why people search old bank rolls and sealed collections hoping to find a hidden gem. The design of the 1966 Lincoln cent continues the famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front, while the reverse features the Lincoln Memorial, which became one of the most recognized coin designs in American history. And because the coin was made during the 1960s, a period of major historical events, many people kept examples from this era as souvenirs, which means uncirculated pieces still occasionally appear in old collections and estate sales, creating excitement among collectors who know that even common-date pennies can become surprisingly valuable when found in exceptional condition with strong eye appeal and no signs of wear. A major reason the 1966 penny attracts attention is the possibility of high-grade value, because while millions were struck, only a small number survive in superb gem condition due to contact marks from mint bags and storage. And this means a coin graded in average uncirculated condition may sell for only a few dollars, while one graded at the highest levels by professional services can bring much stronger prices. And in some auction sales, top certified examples have sold for amounts that surprise people who assumed an old penny could never be worth much. And this difference in value shows why collectors study each coin carefully before deciding whether to send it for grading. The metal composition of the 1966 Lincoln cent is primarily copper, with a bronze alloy that gives it the warm reddish appearance that collectors love, and because copper reacts with air over time, many coins turn darker brown after decades of handling and storage, but examples preserved in mint rolls or untouched collections may still retain their original red shine, and these are the pieces most desired by advanced collectors because color preservation is one of the key factors in determining premium value, and a beautiful red uncirculated 1966 penny can be far more desirable than a worn older coin that might otherwise seem historically significant. Collectors also look for errors and varieties on the 1966 penny, because unusual pieces can be worth far more than standard coins, and examples with double die, lettering off center strikes, clip planchets, die cracks, or other mint mistakes can command strong premiums, depending on the error and the overall grade. And this makes searching rolls of old pennies exciting, because a rare variety might appear among ordinary coins, and many online videos have become popular by showing how to identify these errors, which encourages viewers to inspect their own coins under magnification in hopes of finding an overlooked treasure hiding in plain sight. For a YouTube script, the 1966 Lincoln cent is an excellent topic, because viewers enjoy learning how common coins from everyday change may carry hidden value, and a long detailed video can explain the history, mintage, grading system, market prices, and real auction examples, while also showing how to recognize uncirculated condition and possible errors. And this keeps audiences interested because many people still own jars of old pennies, and the idea that one of them might be worth much more than one cent inspires curiosity and longer watch time, especially when the script builds suspense around the highest known values for top-grade examples. Professional grading companies such as play an important role in determining the final value of a 1966 penny, because a certified grade gives buyers confidence, and top-grade examples placed in secure holders often sell more easily at auctions and private sales, and because registry collectors compete for the finest known coins, even a single-point difference on the grading scale can cause a major jump in value, and this is why collectors carefully inspect the luster, strike, and number of surface marks before deciding whether their coin might deserve professional submission. If someone discovers a 1966 Lincoln cent without mint mark in uncirculated condition, the best step is to handle it only by the edges and avoid cleaning it, because cleaning can permanently damage the surface and lower its value, and placing the coin in a protective holder helps preserve the original luster while it is inspected for grade and possible varieties. And many people make the mistake of polishing old coins thinking this improves appearance, but experienced collectors know that original, untouched surfaces are far more important than artificial shine, and preserving the coin exactly as found gives the best chance for maintaining collectible value. The 1966 Lincoln 1-cent coin without mint mark remains a fascinating collectible from the United States because it combines history, design, nostalgia, and the possibility of hidden value in exceptional condition. And whether worth only a few cents or much more as a certified gem, it continues to inspire collectors to search old jars, coin rolls, and family collections for overlooked treasures. And subscribing to coin collecting channels allows viewers to discover more rare pennies, valuable varieties, and the stories behind coins that many people still overlook every day without realizing they're true. Collecting. Next up, the 1967 Lincoln 1-cent coin without mint mark was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, and this small copper coin remains one of the most recognized pieces of American pocket change because it carries the portrait of Abraham Lincoln, and many people saved these coins during the 1960s in jars, drawers, and family collections, but finding one today in true uncirculated condition is much more exciting because an untouched coin can still show blazing original red luster, sharp design details, and a fresh, mint appearance that has survived for decades, making it much more attractive to collectors than ordinary circulated examples. And this is why the 1967 penny continues to be a popular subject for collectors and YouTube treasure hunting videos. The value of a 1967 Lincoln cent without mint mark depends almost entirely on condition, because billions were struck for circulation and worn examples are still very common. But when a coin is preserved in uncirculated condition, the value can increase because collectors pay attention to color, luster, and surface preservation, and coins with full original red color are often worth more than red, brown, or brown examples, since copper changes over time, and many bright red pieces were lost to oxidation and handling, and this means a single penny kept untouched for decades can become much more valuable than people expect, simply because it retained the same appearance it had when it first left the mint. The historical importance of the 1967 Lincoln cent comes from the period in which it was made, because the late 1960s were years of major cultural and economic change in the United States, and many families saved coins from that era as keepsakes, which means hidden rolls and old albums still occasionally reveal beautiful examples, and collectors enjoy these discoveries because they connect everyday pocket change with a significant moment in history, and because the coin carries the Lincoln Memorial. On the reverse, it also represents a classic design that was used for decades, making it instantly familiar to generations of Americans and collectors across the world. In circulated condition, a 1967 penny without mint mark is usually worth only a small premium over face value, but an uncirculated example can be worth several dollars, and in very high mint state grades the price can rise dramatically, especially when certified by professional grading services, and collectors know that a coin with minimal contact marks, strong strike, and full red color can command much higher prices than average examples, and this is why many people search through old penny rolls, hoping to find one with exceptional preservation, because even a common date can become a valuable collectible when found in top condition after many years. The 1967 Lincoln cent was made of bronze with a high copper content, which gives it a rich reddish appearance when freshly struck, and because copper reacts naturally with air moisture, and handling, many of these coins have turned brown over time, but coins stored in sealed containers can remain bright red for decades, and these are often the most desirable examples in the market because color preservation is one of the key factors collectors use to determine premium value, and a coin that looks almost new after more than half a century can attract significant attention from both casual collectors and advanced specialists. Another reason the 1967 penny is exciting for collectors is the possibility of mint errors and varieties, because some examples show doubled dies off, center strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, or other unusual mistakes that occurred during production. And these coins can be worth much more than standard issues, depending on the severity of the error and the condition of the coin, and many treasure hunters carefully inspect the date, lettering, and reverse design with magnification, because even a subtle variety can create strong interest in the collecting market, and videos about such discoveries often attract large audiences who want to know whether their own coins may hide similar surprises. For a long YouTube script, the 1967 Lincoln cent offers excellent storytelling because viewers enjoy hearing how an ordinary 1-cent coin may actually carry hidden value, and a detailed presentation can explain the history, mintage condition factors, grading standards, and real auction records, while building suspense around the highest prices paid for top-grade examples. And because many people still have old pennies in their homes, the subject feels personal and practical, which keeps audiences engaged as they compare the coin on screen with the coins they may already own in jars, collections, or inherited boxes from older relatives. Professional grading companies such are important in the value of the 1967 penny, because once a coin is authenticated, graded, and sealed, and a holder, buyers gain confidence, and the market often rewards the best preserved examples with strong prices, and registry collectors compete for the finest known specimens, which means even a 1-point difference in grade can significantly affect auction results, and this explains why some 1967 pennies sell for only a few dollars, while others in exceptional certified condition have reached surprisingly high prices for such a common date. If someone finds a 1967 Lincoln cent without mint mark in uncirculated condition, the best approach is to avoid cleaning it and handle it only by the edges, because any rubbing or polishing can permanently damage the original surfaces and reduce its collectible value, and placing the coin in a protective holder helps preserve its condition until it can be examined for luster strike and possible errors. And many people accidentally reduce the value of old coins by trying to make them look shiny, but experienced collectors know that untouched original surfaces are always more desirable than cleaned examples, even if the coin appears darker than expected. The 1967 Lincoln 1-cent coin without mint mark remains a fascinating collectible because it combines American history, classic design, and the possibility of hidden value in high grades, and whether worth only a few cents or much more, in certified uncirculated condition, it continues to inspire collectors to search old jars, coin rolls, and family collections for overlooked treasures, and subscribing to coin collecting channels helps viewers learn more about valuable pennies, rare varieties, and the stories behind the coins that many people pass by every day without realizing that one simple cent may hold a surprising collectible value. Next up, the 1969 South Lincoln 1-center coin was struck at the San Francisco Mint, and this small copper coin is one of the most talked about pennies among collectors because the S mint mark immediately tells people it was made in San Francisco, and many coin enthusiasts search for this date because some versions, especially famous varieties, have become legendary in American numismatics, and when a regular 1969 S coin is found in uncirculated condition, it can still attract strong interest because original red, luster-sharp details and untouched surfaces make any older Lincoln cent much more desirable than ordinary circulated examples found in everyday change. The value of a standard 1969 South Lincoln center in uncirculated condition depends heavily on grade, color, and surface preservation because circulated examples are generally common, but a coin with full red color and nowhere can be worth several dollars or more depending on how clean the surfaces remain, and collectors often separate these coins into red, brown, and brown designations because copper changes with age, and red examples that still look fresh from the mint are the most desirable, and because many coins were handled roughly during storage, truly high-grade pieces are much scarcer than people first imagine when they see the large original mintage numbers. The design features Abraham Lincoln on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, creating one of the most iconic coin designs in American history, and by 1969 this series had already become a staple of daily commerce across the United States, which means millions of people use these pennies every day, yet only a small number were carefully preserved from the moment they were issued, and this makes uncirculated examples more appealing because they represent a frozen moment in history, showing exactly how the coin looked when it first left the mint more than half a century ago. Collectors are especially interested in the 1969 S penny because of the famous double-die obverse variety, which is one of the most valuable modern Lincoln cents ever discovered, and while the regular 1969 S coin is much more common, the existence of that rare variety causes many people to inspect every example closely under magnification because strong doubling on the date and lettering can mean a coin worth thousands of dollars, and this has made the 1969 S issue one of the most searched dates in old collections rolls and inherited jars, since people hope to discover that rare and highly valuable treasure among ordinary-looking pennies. In normal uncirculated grades, a standard 1969 South Lincoln center may sell for modest prices, but top gem examples certified at the highest levels can bring much stronger premiums, especially when they retain full original red surfaces and minimal contact marks, and because coins stored in bags and rolls often touch one another, many examples show tiny nicks that lower the grade, and this means a nearly flawless coin can stand out dramatically in the market and registry. Collectors who compete for the finest known examples may pay far above average guide prices for the very best certified pieces available. The bronze composition of the 1969 S penny gives it a rich copper color that can remain beautiful for decades if stored properly, but exposure to air, humidity, and fingerprints often changes the color from red to brown, and because of this, collectors place strong emphasis on preserving original surfaces and avoiding cleaning, and a bright red coin discovered in an old roll can be especially exciting because it may look almost identical to the day it was minted, and such examples often become highlights in coin collections where color and eye appeal are considered just as important as date and mint mark. For a long YouTube script, the 1969 South Lincoln Center is a perfect topic because it combines an ordinary-looking penny with the possibility of a famous rare variety that can be worth extraordinary amounts, and viewers enjoy stories about coins hidden in change that may secretly be worth thousands of dollars, and a detailed video can explain how to identify the regular coin, how to check for the double die, and why condition makes such a large difference in value. And this type of content keeps people watching because many have old pennies at home and want to know whether one of them could be the rare discovery they have been hoping for. Professional grading companies, such as, are especially important for the 1969 S penny because authentication is essential when dealing with valuable varieties, and the famous double die has been counterfeited by altered coins, so serious collectors rely on certified holders for confirmation, and even standard uncirculated coins benefit from professional grading because high grades can increase confidence, and sale prices and many auction records for top specimens show that certified examples often outperform raw coins simply because buyers trust the assigned grade and authenticity. If someone finds a 1969 South Lincoln Center in uncirculated condition, the best approach is to hold it only by the edges, avoid rubbing the surfaces, and inspect the date and lettering under magnification because the possibility of a rare double die variety makes this one of the most exciting pennies to examine. And even if it is a standard issue, a beautiful red uncirculated coin can still carry collectible value and should be placed in a protective holder to preserve the original appearance. And many valuable coins have lost potential because owners cleaned them before learning that original surfaces are the most important factor in collector demand. The 1969 South Lincoln One Center coin remains one of the most fascinating modern American pennies because it combines history, classic design, and the thrilling possibility of discovering a famous rare variety. And whether it is a regular uncirculated coin worth a modest premium or the celebrated double die worth thousands, it continues to inspire treasure hunters to search old jars, bank rolls, and family collections for overlooked coins. And subscribing to coin collecting channels helps viewers learn more about valuable pennies, rare errors, and the stories behind the coins that many people still ignore every day without realizing the hidden treasures that may already be in their own hands. Thanks for watching.